Welcome everyone to the March 11th, 2014 regular scheduled meeting of the City Board of Commissioners. Thanks for coming out. We're going to have invocation by Commissioner Holberg and Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Ward.
Please join us in prayer. Father, we are here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item under presentations and delegations to recognize Justin Kaiser, Systems Administrator with the Information Technology Department as the February 2014 Strongest Link Award recipient. Jack Poland will address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to see everybody's face tonight. I feel very special to stand up here tonight and present Justin Kaiser's Strongest Link Award for February. Justin's in school. He graduates. This is his last semester. He's working on his MBA from as far as from Georgia Tech. And his wife, Becky, and the two children in the back, which is Bradenton and Brooks, are here to receive the award on Justin's behalf. I also am doing something unusual tonight, and that is I would like to present Jacob, who did the write-up for Justin's award, who his colleague worker be together. I guess I can say years ago in my previous job, we supported a lot of soldiers as civilians, and a lot of the people that supported those were known as silent warriors. And I guess if I say anything tonight, Justin is one of those silent warriors because he really is involved with the technology, making sure that it runs the way it needs to run. And he's done just a marvelous job since he's been here with the city of Griffin. I can't say enough about the young man. See, I'm old enough to say young man. But anyway, I'd like to present this award tonight to Justin Kaiser's wife, Becky, on his behalf, and say congratulations. But before I do, Jacob, I'd like to for you to present why are we presenting this award to Justin tonight.
Justin, he set up a backup solution for the city of Griffin. Everything that we do and all the information that passes through our system is now backed up and secured because Justin set in place a backup solution to take care of that. So if we have a natural disaster or any other situation that would cause us to lose information, we don't lose it anymore. He also plans for future growth of the city so that all our data is secure for many years. But the main reason I think that I wanted to nominate him was because of how impressive he did with school and working full-time and being a father and husband, that he was able to keep a 4.0 working on his MBA at Georgia Tech while working here full-time. And I'm very impressed by that, trying to get my MBA and striving for that goal myself. But he's very impressed by doing that, and that's the main reason I did it. So, thank you.
Yes.
So, with that said, thank you, Jacob. I want to present to you. You know what? I always forget this. So you know what? I'll hold.
Okay.
So I'd like to present Becky with Justin's award tonight. Jacob, if you will.
Yeah, get around.
Strongest link,
Get a pretty
okay.
face.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
All right. Item number 2, recognize 5 Griffin Fire Rescue personnel who recently graduated from the Georgia Search and Rescue Program. Fire Chief Tommy Jones will address.
Good evening, Commissioners. It's a pleasure tonight to bring achievers to you tonight to recognize them for something they have done. They have joined a very elite program in the Georgia Search and Rescue Team. We call it GSAR. This program was started in 2004 in response to 9/11 to basically bring Georgia firefighters and rescue personnel to an extreme high standard to have some of the changing complexities of the fire and rescue situations. The GSAR program is made up of 6 modules, which takes 6 months to accomplish, and it's not easy either. It involves a module on trench collapse, confined space rescue, wilderness search, rescue, and survival, rope rescue with high angle, and collapsed buildings and hazardous materials. We are now privileged to have 1/5 of our entire department as GSAR certified. We also have 1/2 of our department paramedics and EMTs now. And the ironic thing about this, one of these guys was already an EMT before he started this training. 4 of them went through paramedic school and EMT school at the same time they were doing this. So they're okay. So I want to recognize them tonight. 3 of them are here with us. One of them, Lieutenant Chuck Smoke. I'll mention him. Chuck is an EMT and now GSAR certified lieutenant. He is at the Center for Domestic Preparedness tonight, which is in Anniston, Alabama, learning about bioterrorism, which is a federally funded program, and he is representing us there tonight. Paramedic and firefighter Jimmy Smith. After 2 years of paramedic school and 6 months of GSAR, his wife said he was taking her to Las Vegas. So that's where he is at tonight. But with us tonight is Captain and Advanced EMT Rodney Dingler. Rodney's right here. EMT and Rescue Technician Kelly McLaughlin, right there. And paramedic and firefighter Josh Whitten, right here. We call him Tiny for obvious reasons. But they have made us very proud tonight to be a part of the GSAR program. Our department has been very instrumental in a lot of the things that have went on with this program. There's about 4 teams in the state of Georgia, and these guys are ready if anything really bad happens. So if you would help me congratulate them, please. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Item number 3, review financials for January 2014. Chief Financial Officer Marcus Schwab will address.
Good evening, Chairman, Commissioners.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
First up is the cash balance report. I'd like to entertain any questions if we have any.
Looks stable.
Good news, though, if we move into the local option sales tax analysis, we did recover the funds, or not recover. The funds were posted to our accounts, and we've since collected, and now we have that information backdated to September. So that money is rolling in now, and it'll be a little bit more consistent at this point.
So they just forwarded you $900,000 finally, basically.
Yes, there's another 190 that's not showing up. It's $1 million. It's 898.
1.9.
Right. Well, we did receive $1 million in February because of that posting, so that was all corrected.
Looks like sales tax maintaining
Yes, sir.
throughout the year.
Next item up is the revenue detail report. And I'll entertain any questions if you have any.
It looks like the electric department's come back at this 58, 60%.
Again, that's a cyclical, and it's a highly cyclical event because it's tied to the hot summers and cold winters, so everything in between, it'll just oscillate. One item of note that I want to bring out just real quick is the title ad valorem tax. There are some changes in the laws coming up this year. In 2 weeks, there's going to be a webinar with the Georgia Government Finance Officers Association. We'll go through that, and there's going to be some updates that we're going to bring forward. I had a conversation with a colleague of mine from Clayton County. They were in discussions with their school boards and counties and cities. Their concern is that they don't know exactly where the proceeds are going to come from as this law begins to taper out, because there's some changes coming in, which may change the position we have today with the title ad valorem, with the TAVT revenues coming in. Right now, they look very good and healthy. The concern is that the spigot is going to be turned off and the state's going to be redirecting some of those monies.
Surprise.
So, yes. So just be aware that there will be more discussions coming up about that. Any other questions about revenues?
I saw someplace in here where so far we've received $441,000 from the tax commissioner on automobiles,
Yes, that's correct.
which is very good,
Yes. Yes.
more than we thought we would get.
The surrounding municipalities, Peachtree City, we're all experiencing some sort of windfall at the moment with the old motor vehicle tax traipsing off.
Yeah.
But with the changes in the law, things are uncertain at the moment because of the way things are flowing through the system, through the collections. And our concern is that eventually that spigot may be
Right.
turned off a little bit. And that's the concern. We don't know how to project that going forward. Right now, we're averaging about $45,000 a month, which is great, and hopefully that will continue. Just don't know how long.
Which is just keeping pace with law being under right now.
Correct.
Yeah, well, and you expect it to be turned down, though, because that was the basis for it, unless everybody buys new cars or does something every year. You know, you expected some downturn because it takes care of it for future
Well,
years.
they tried to post it as a revenue neutral program, give you a long time to wean away from it, but naturally it's not working out as well as they promised.
Give me a windfall box.
Well, we'll enjoy it while we
The
make
property,
it.
the property tax looks like it's right on track.
Yes, yes. The
It always-
billings went out
yeah.
correctly this year,
Good.
so the collection process is on target. With estimates, yes. Okay, fund statements, any questions?
I do.
Yes, sir.
I have 2 or 3 areas of concern. Overall, our revenues are right fairly on track. We're usually a little ahead of budget, but we're hanging in there. Doug mentioned one, the electric funds come back some, but still percent or almost 2 down from budget, which is, I know what Bill addressed earlier meetings, but a couple others too that trouble me. Court fines and forfeitures. We're at 25%, less than half of where we should be for the year. And that's a serious piece of change, way down. What's going on?
That's correct. From what we can tell, and Mr. Strickland may be better suited to answer the question, though from an outside perspective, it appears that we had some issues with the traffic signals. That's been the biggest issue there. The other component is staffing. I'm thinking it might be a staffing issue and being able to conduct the safety inspections and such. So I'd like to have Mr. Strickland address that question. But for next year, if this trend continues, we're looking to shave off another $150,000 or so from the projection. So even though there was $1 million put in, we're gonna come in around $850,000 this year, and if that trend continues, then next year that's going to be another $150,000 less in the 15 projected budget.
Well, we're at 261 year to date, only 25% when we're 58% of the year. So if we make what the number you just mentioned, it'd be a miracle in my opinion. So
Yes, sir.
it's several $100,000 short, it looks like. All right. Water, wastewater, we know it's been a wet year, so it's been tough. We're about 3% down there, which is, again, is a significant number when you put it with a 1 or 2% electric fund. So all those areas are trending lower. And another question came up to me is we redid the rental fees over to Welcome Center in order to increase revenues and develop a little more positive income there.
Mhm.
And yet it's a fair amount below. We're at 38% instead of 50% of the estimated budget. So it appears to me our new rental fee and program is not working. So is that the reason, or just does anybody know why we're down there significantly?
Well, they have a lot of choices now with the senior center and the Kiwanis building, and I think that's probably made the biggest impact.
Well,
Those are
that
good
might
points.
be it, but maybe we need to revisit the fee schedule if we're no longer competitive. But I bring that up for a point of interest.
Yes.
I think we're competitors. I think just from a competition standpoint, there's some other venues that are getting more business than we are. But our fee schedule is very comparable to those other venues. It's just they're busier than we are.
And I have to throw this out too. I don't want to stir up the hornet's nest, but I have long been a critic of the money lost at the golf course, but I just want everybody to know that we are looking at a $359,000 loss at the golf course again this year, which is almost $750,000 of tax. I just got to say that's an awful lot of money we're throwing for a very small number of people who use that. So I'll end it with that.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Okay, we'll now move into citizen comments. At this time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. Chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Do I have anyone on my left that would like to make a citizen comment? Okay. Anyone on my right? Okay. Hearing none, we have no public hearings, so we'll move into the consent agenda. Item number 4, consider approval of minutes of the workshop on February 25th, 2014, and minutes of the regular scheduled meeting on February 25th, 2014.
Unless there's an objection, I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous? Okay, we'll move into the regular agenda. Item number 5, consider approval to amend the City of Griffin fiscal year 2014 operating and capital budget for technical services in the electric utility fund.
Chairman, I seem we approved the purchase of this equipment previously, but we need to amend the budget, and I move we approve the budget amendment as presented.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
A motion and a second. Any discussions or questions? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 6, consider approval of request to authorize the Griffin Main Street Program in partnership with Griffin Downtown Council to initiate a fundraising campaign to develop a park at the old City Hall site, excluding the historic City Hall building. Kenwin Hayes will address.
Good evening.
Good evening.
In respect to the City Hall property, understanding that the city has put considerable amount of effort and resources to come up with a plan to redevelop that site. Upon coming upon staff last year, I suggested to a local company to devise a park plan and got the feedback from the DDA board, Main Street, and staff to what are some of the best possibilities to put on that site. So as I presented to you all in the workshop a few months ago, prospective park, understanding that the intent was to always sell the old City Hall building, to put some commercial properties on it, but the market has changed. The market has changed, but the city still owns the park, and it can still be a viable asset to the community. So this evening, I'm asking for the board to approve Main Street with partnership with the Downtown Council to commence fundraising efforts to develop this park. Preliminary numbers and figures are in your packet, and also have the leadership for Main Street and Downtown Council here as a token of support for this initiative tonight here as well.
One question. What happens if you get partway to your goal and it stalls? Are you going to use the money on a partial completion or refund it, or what's the plan?
I think there could be a couple of options. First, there could be continued fundraising. There could be, if the goal was X and we only have half, we could design the park in such a way that it's developed in tiers. So we could say, hey, this is what we could do with 20%, 50%, and 75%. So we can design that up front if the fundraising efforts fall short. So I think if we have that understanding before the process begins, we can develop it in such a way that if we don't get the full 100, it won't be a failure. We could get 20, 30% and still have a viable community asset.
Well, I think it's important that you do decide that up front, and any donor knows what the schedule is. So.
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
Have a motion and a second. Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Okay, unanimous.
Make it happen.
All right, thank you, Kenlon. Thank you, Main Street and Griffin Downtown Council for putting yourselves out there for this major effort. Item number 7, consider for approval to award the best evaluated bid to Yancey Brothers for the purchase of a Cat 242B3 skid steer loader in the amount of $33,650 for General Fund Public Works, Street Department, and amend the budget accordingly.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the purchase and amend the budget accordingly.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 8, consider the purchase of a Ford F-350 truck with dump body from Speedway Ford in the amount of $33,273.90 and declare unit number 526 as surplus and advertise for sale on govdeals.com for the Public Works and Utilities Department. Dr. Kelly will address.
Did you get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the acquisition and the sale of surplus property.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions? All those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous.
And it's under budget. Congratulations.
Okay. Item number 9, consider the purchase of a Ford F-150 pickup truck from Speedway Ford in the amount of $21,654.69 off the state contract, and declare the existing unit 439 as surplus and advertise on govdeals.com for sale for use in the street department.
Make a motion to approve.
I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second. Any discussion or questions?
It's under budget.
Under budget?
Always good.
Okay. Hearing no other, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 10, consider approval to award the purchase of an F-750 dump truck in the amount of $70,615.90 to Speedway Ford for the Public Works and Utilities Department. Dr. Kelly will address.
Chair, I move we approve the purchase.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions for Dr. Kelly? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 11, consider the purchase of a Ford F-150 pickup truck from Speedway Ford in the amount of $17,727 off state contract, and declare a surplus unit number 852 and advertise for sale on govdeals.com for use in Water Wastewater Division.
Make a motion to approve the purchase.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other questions, discussions? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Okay, item number 12, consider the purchase of a Ford F-350 service truck from Speedway Ford in the amount of $37,352 off state contract, and declare existing unit number 872 as surplus and advertise for sale on govdeals.com for public works.
Make a motion to approve and surplus the property.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
A motion is second, any discussion? All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Item number 13, consider approval of appraisal services contract with Realty Acquisition Partners LLC for the appraisals of property in SPLOST 2008 project CSSTP-0008-00-237, CSSTP-008-00-238, Spalding County. PINOs 0008237 and 0008238, intersection improvements Experiment Street at Broad Street and West College Street at Meriwether Street in the amount of $16,975 for the Public Works Department and Utilities Department.
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second. A motion and second, any discussion or questions for Dr. Kelly? Okay.
Roundabout's what Dick told me just now.
Don't stir things up anymore.
I tried.
Okay. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous.
We need a vertical roundabout.
Item number 14, consider approval to purchase off-state contract, a Case 580 SN four-wheel drive backhoe from Border Equipment in the amount of $81,534.88 for the Public Works and Utilities Department.
Move we approve the purchase.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any questions or discussions for Dr.
Yeah, are you blowing your entire budget tonight?
What happened was, until you state contract came out late this year, so we waited for the new prices.
They're under budget except for,
Right.
they're under budget except for one. Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous. Okay, item number 15, consider a resolution determining the necessity to acquire land for water and sewer improvements to be constructed under the 2013 Community Development Block Grant, Phase 5, consisting of 4 permanent and temporary construction easements on Cliftondale Drive, 5th Street, and Haskell Ward Drive. City Attorney Drew Will will address.
This again is your standard resolution to authorize the acquisition of the easements affected by this project and also to establish the initial values. Again, we've relied upon the tax appraisals of these properties as the basis for the initial values to be offered to the property owners. 3 of the 4 parcels have both permanent and temporary construction easements for water lines. One of them has only a temporary construction easement. It's actually 2 tracts owned by Justice Family Holdings, or side by side, and temporary is just across the property line. And of course, Mr. Holberg has to abstain from participating.
And for the record, I'll be abstaining because of potential conflict with ownership of property in the general area.
That Cliftondale, isn't that Clifton instead of Cliftondale? Shouldn't it be Clifton Drive?
Clifton Drive is what it should be. I don't know where Cliftondale came from.
Wondering about that. All right,
So correct.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the resolution with the understanding that it's Clifton Drive, not Cliftondale Drive, and yes, the remainder remains as published.
Okay, I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. Unanimous?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 6 with 1 abstention. Okay, item number 16, appoint 1 city police representative to serve on the Spalding Collaborative. Do we have a...
I think it's Mike Richardson.
Lieutenant Mike Richardson is the person
I'd like to
being nominated.
nominate Mike Richardson to serve in that capacity of the Collaborative Authority.
Second.
Okay. We have a
We need that.
Motion to close
nomination.
nominations.
Second.
All right, nominations closed. All those, well, I
By
guess
acclamation.
by acclamation.
We got to vote on the
Lieutenant
motion to
Richardson.
close.
Oh, yeah, but
We have to vote on
Did
the
he not
motion.
make, okay.
We have to vote on
We have a
the
motion and a second to close nominations. All those in favor, please raise your hand. A Okay, unanimous. Item number 17, consider approval of a proposed policy regarding the naming of facilities and the erecting of plaques, monuments, and markers on city property. City Manager Kenny Smith will address.
I tried to make the changes as our discussion last meeting on page 1. Essentially did away with the 3-person committee and just gave the chairperson the ability to appoint an ad hoc committee if he felt one was necessary to properly vet the request. Of course, with the approach and the final decision by the Board of Commissioners as a whole. And then on page 2, I tried to answer Mr. McCord's concern by adding that we could recognize someone that had made a historical contribution of service on a regional, national, or international basis.
You did leave in there that it involved the city of Griffin as well, right? When you made that change? That whether they lived here or not, it had to be a significant,
Right.
The person should have been
Gift to the
born
city of
or
Griffin.
lived in Griffin or had a strong and or enduring connection with the city through a historical contribution of service on a regional, national, or international basis.
Okay.
If everyone's happy with the revised version, I move we approve the proposed policy.
I'll second it.
Okay, now a motion and second. Any other questions or discussion?
I still have some concerns about, and it may just be my own concerns about the 12 months after the honoree's death. I'm just a little bit at a loss as to why we would do that and what's the lapse in time for and what happens after a 12-month period if you decide that you have a problem with this person after 12 months. Is it too late to name something in their honor? Is it too late to take it down because now it's been 12 months rather than 11 months or 8 months or 13 months? I don't, if you want to honor, if a citizen deems it necessary to come down and feels like we should honor someone, whether it be Haskell Ward, who is living right now, and we named the street in his honor, or Mr. Elmer George, who was living when we named this building, this room, or Raymond Head Jr., I could keep going, but I don't see a reason why we would limit it to people that are dead. It's just not, that makes sense to me, but if we can't change that, I won't vote for that, but again, reading this, if we wanted to honor Dr. King, who was not born in Griffin, I think he came to Griffin once or twice to visit church here. Still, according to this, we couldn't do anything in his honor. We still don't have anything in the city of Griffin that honors Dr. King. And we could now, if we wanted to name a street, put a monument, plaque, that would be a problem. So I couldn't vote for it for those reasons, and also feel why would we give the chairman the ability to, if it falls on the shoulders of all of the commissioners, regardless of the district, that we would all participate and vote in it when it comes to recognizing the achievements of people in the city or nationally, historically, however you want to look at it. I just think it needs to rest with the board. If someone has a request, they want to come before the board and place a plaque at the golf course or anywhere else, let the board decide if they want to vote for it or not, and let it rest right there. Because we can all find something wrong with someone, and it may not take 12 months after they're dead. So that would just be my concern.
Well, I spoke against have to be dead 12 months. I thought the consensus was that this board wanted to be dead. So, I'm with you on that one, but that's what I heard. I don't know how the others.
Yeah, I mean, I think I heard the same thing as far as the general consensus of whether, it's all gonna amount to a personal philosophy anyway, when it comes down to this. Your personal philosophy is that the person will still be living, mine's gonna be that they should be dead. As bad as that sounds, but, you know, for my personal point, the living, issue related to, when you have circumstances of people doing things that are less honorable after they've been honored, and then you have that awkward situation of having to go back and looking at doing something.
So we just give them the roses after they did.
Well, and the issue with the year is the amount of a lot of emotions go around of the time that a person dies. We have a lot of things pop up at the time when someone passes away, and the concept of a year time frame is to give that some time to go you know, go on and to really be able to look logically at the contributions of the person and not act emotionally, I guess, about it. So that's just personal philosophy, but I heard kind of the same general thing as to why we kind of added it in here. But I also think the reality of this is that there's not a whole lot of teeth in this policy when it comes to requests that are coming to the board. I know when we first looked at it, the concept was more of how can we weed some of the requests down before they necessarily get here, but I think what we've ended up backing into with this is more just a list of criteria that we should think about and consider up front when it's going to come to the board anyway. So I'm not sure how much teeth is really in a lot of these things because of the language of shall or can type situations. I'm okay with removing the part about the chair appointing anything, because again, that's just one step in what we know is going to happen, which is going to come straight to the board anyway.
I think that we have hashed this around a good 6 months or more, and I know that it was prior to Mr. McCord joining our commission, coming back to the commission. We do have a motion on the floor with a second, so let's vote it up or down.
Okay. Who was the motion?
Dick made the motion.
Dick made the motion, and you seconded it?
I'm not necessarily going to vote for it, but I got the ball moving here.
Okay, then that's when the discussion opened. All right. Any other questions now?
On the phrase about the chairmanship, would that make, we'll remove that from the,
What's the phrase?
The commission chairman may appoint an ad hoc committee to conduct a
leave it in there.
preliminary study to
Doesn't say he has to, he
ensure
says he may.
the nomination has merit.
I think, and we can always change this.
Let me ask one question before we vote now. If somebody comes along on a white stallion with a lot of money and does something and he's not dead yet, and we choose...
There's a 50% phrase
in there.
It's just.
Well, I mean, that's only if they donate.
Yeah, the donation.
I have a question for the attorney. Can we vote to suspend this and honor somebody who falls outside this if we choose? This is a policy, it's not a law.
It's only a policy, you're not
Right.
adopting it as an ordinance.
So it's a policy.
So I think you always
Right,
change
it's
your
not a
policy.
law.
Okay, we could change it if we,
Exactly. We change things all the time.
I mean, we could ignore it if we so chose.
I mean, there's a sentence that says the final decision for administering the guidelines rests with the city board of commissioners. So that in essence says you can deviate.
We can deviate this.
Right, it's just
Then I'm
got so
okay
much
with it.
wiggle room till it's really,
Oh, man.
Gives the guidance. It gives the.
are we gonna vote?
Okay. I'll wait if everybody's okay with voting. All right. Everybody got the questions? Okay, all those in favor, please raise your right hand. All those opposed?
As long as I can
6-1.
deviate.
All right, item 18, consider entering into executive session as allowed by Chapter 14 of Title 50 of the Georgia Code and pursuant to advice by the city attorney for the purpose of consulting with legal counsel pertaining to pending or potential litigation and to discuss negotiations to purchase property.
Mr. Chairman, I move we go into executive session for those two stated purposes.
I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. And let's go into executive session.
Do we want to have citizen comment? Or do our comments first, or come back and do that? Okay.
Yeah.
Normally we do the,
Thank you, fellas, for what you do. You're a great team.
thank you guys.